What are you doing?
But you took away from the survivors. This organization is in desperate need of money. They broke ground on tiny home number 3. They had to turn away a survivor because tiny home number 3 is not built. Because people like me that are getting trashed cannot get them the money that they need. It is way worse than what people think.
Yo, 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 what up, everybody? How we doing this evening?
How are you?
I'm
Doing well.
all
How are you?
Good. Very good.
Good.
Yeah,
How you doing,
good
Kat?
day. It's a good day.
Are you Kit or Kat on this one?
I'm Kat. I think that you got me confused with my twin sister, Kip Channings.
Oh, it's the
She's a
twin.
real
Oh no,
wild
the world
card.
cannot take two of you.
Real wild card. We'll actually be moving that content over to its own page. I didn't expect that many people to
Oh,
find
look,
it funny.
I don't. I.
Hey, this
comment.
is the way that I look at it. We can be upset about it, or we can laugh at them ourselves as well as the whole situation, and try to, like, it's been very frustrating, especially just seeing what overall it's done to other people. You know, like, I watched a lot of the podcasts with you and Ship, and to see merch sales get affected by, you know, just really intense drama on the app. So my method of thinking is, if we can all laugh at it, maybe some people will start to calm down a little bit. Like, none of us are getting out of this alive, and we need to stop taking ourselves so seriously that we're willing to put in jeopardy things that are doing amazing things for other people. So that's
anybody that knows me knows that I don't ever 28 accounts. I've addressed one thing and one thing only, and it wasn't drama. It was just something that needed to be corrected.
Mhm.
Because I will not ever be told that I don't, do what I do. So there was one situation I corrected, and I left it at that. And I barely said anything. I just showed the proof. That was it. None of it actually bothers me. I know who I am. The people who have contacted me through along the way, I've spoken to them. People who I speak to off the app, I've spoken to them. I don't owe anybody anything on this app.
No.
I don't. If either you can follow me and see the work that I do and join the cause and the movement, or you could walk away. It's no sweat off my back. I'm not going to sit here and work my ass off to prove something to somebody, especially when the lies are so outrageous and the slandering is so outrageous. 10
Mhm.
months every single day. I have all the evidence. I still have.
I was going to say, that's something that, like, a lot of people, I think, don't understand, because you don't address it. It's not
No, I don't
something that
address it. I
you
refuse
don't
to.
want to do that on your platform. Your platform is built for this, but it has been something that, like, you've been enduring for almost a year now.
Yeah.
That it
Every single
finally
day.
got to the point where you spoke out on it.
Well, I don't care about this stuff coming at me.
Mhm.
I really don't. Anything that I've had an issue with, if I've ever had a problem with anybody, I've always addressed it off the app. Unfortunately, there are some people that have taken small snippets out of context or things that I didn't even know about and brought it to the app. I'm going to tell everybody, listen, it's freaking social media. If you are taking social media and the crap that's being spewed out here as full truth, no.
Yeah.
And we'll speak more on that later, but it doesn't bother me. I'm here to do one thing. It doesn't bother me, but when it got to a point where it actually started affecting what I was doing as far as raising money, and I waited to show the proof, and I
Mhm.
showed the proof, because there was slandering that I was making $60,000 in my merch shop. Listen, I wish I
Well,
was,
Right.
because that money would have went to the organization. However,
But even
just
if you were, I thought most conservatives are capitalist. That would be capitalism.
Mhm.
So what is so even if you were like this is what I don't have yet to understand about the app or anything. Like you're a sellout if you make merch. Well, how? You like why not capitalize? It's called capitalism. I believe in it. Who cares?
And I mean, and you've shown over and I mean, I wish that your merch shop was doing
I wish it was that
$60,000.
successful.
Like, imagine all the help that it could be done.
You know,
I
the
want to
reason
talk about Vegas. Tell me about Vegas. Walk me
Vegas
through
is amazing.
Vegas.
Vegas, I know a lot of people have seen either my podcast, Shipwrecks, but we're going to give a shorter version. So basically, you know, they did this last year when Change on Chains that I started, I followed Troy and then I saw he was doing this and his organization fit everything that I wanted. And that was important to me, especially the transparency. So I saw the Vegas trip happen. I'm like, wait, there's volunteer. And it was too short of time for me to go. I would have gone last year. So this was a year-long dream for me to go. I went. You know, I've become very close with the founders of Change Unchained, his wife, and you know, we speak off the app, and I really push for them because I truly believe in them, and I think that they one they do amazing things, and I think as they grow, they're going to do even better things, which we'll talk about later as well. But so I got the chance to go. So I got all the information. I flew out there, and it was a 3-day volunteer program. I have one person on my Dark to Light team that actually lives there, so she came. She met up with me and stayed with me. Plus, got 5 kids, which was beautiful for her. But you know, we got to go and go out in the streets and literally gather intel. You know, a lot of people might not think that that's important. However, you know, every step of all of this is very important because it all connects.
Was it
Because
how
we
you
got
thought it would be, like, going in, like, what you thought it would be in your head?
a little bit only because I researched it and I got the information from Troy. Had I been an outsider, I would not, you know, known what to expect. But you know, it was exciting. It was especially with the first tip that we got,
Mhm.
and then we got more and more, and the hits started coming on. You know, these cards that we were walking around with, and each card has, you know, X amount. There's 4 cards, and it was I think 31 or 33 cases. Um, so we spent the entire day out there, and with the news crew who tagged along with us, and we got so much information. We brought it back, and then I was also invited with clearance to go into the task force house. Troy had wanted me to come in so that I could see more
Mhm.
and understand it better from the inside. And it was amazing. You know, I met some amazing people and that are gonna work with me along the way and come on the podcast, give the because I want to get so much information out to everybody. You know, just because
Did you
I'm
make your way down to the tunnel?
no,
No.
it was spoken about in the task force house. They don't even go in there. That's how dangerous it is.
Yeah.
Their faces when they spoke about the tunnels was like, no, you don't go there.
Because I think, like, a lot of people think that that part is a conspiracy, that there
It's
aren't
not.
tunnels and that this
I
isn't
can
happening in
confirm.
this.
I can confirm the tunnels are in Vegas. They are extremely dangerous. Law enforcement stays away. I don't know if there's other different operations that maybe I can't confirm that. All I know is who I was with does not go in there.
And for those that don't understand what we're talking about, what are the tunnels?
Basically, the tunnels are where a lot of the homeless population goes. A lot of very bad things go. I wasn't given all the details. They really didn't want to talk about it, but
Mhm.
it was confirmed.
And like from what I've heard, there's like a lot of exchanging of services that goes on in there, underage, of age, kind of some Sodom and Gomorrah type stuff going on in those tunnels.
I've heard as well. They didn't confirm it, however, with along the
Yeah.
way of the research and stuff, I've heard as well.
And how many found did you guys get to write out?
So, as a whole, there were 15 found according to Nevada Child Seekers as of yesterday when I checked. Troy and Change on Chains and they can only speak on 14 because there was one case. Obviously, they can't take credit for something that wasn't part of what the cases that they were handed. So that's
Mhm.
just like a can't take credit kind of thing. So they're claiming 14. Nevada Child Seekers is claiming 15 because there's one child that wasn't part of what we were
Even
doing.
just one
But
isn't
it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. As far as I'm concerned, who cares? 15 children were as of
Yeah, who
yesterday.
cares who gets credit for it?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
That's incredible.
What got you started in this movement?
Oh, real quick, Scrappy, we're actually going to talk about that in a little bit.
Oh, yeah,
We're gonna talk all about how everyone can stop talking and start helping. We're gonna lay it all out for you guys.
But I will address Scrappy as far as can anyone do that? Yes. Anybody
Mm-hmm.
can volunteer for what I did. If you follow Called to Rescue, there's two different Call to Rescues. I think there's one in Poland, but the one is in Pensacola, Florida. But there's information that I'm going to share in a little bit that's even better. What got me
excited.
started? You really want to know?
Yeah.
do.
Q. About
Fair
8
enough.
years ago, around 8 years ago.
Mhm.
It was Q. I'm not gonna lie. Everybody
Yeah, me
knows that
too.
I used to conspiracy theory like a crazy person.
Girl, I still do. I just don't
I
follow
do.
anything like that's like it's
Oh,
a
I do.
religion. Like we were all like that's how I met that's how I first found you too. Was I did a lot of Q stuff and that's what got me involved in it too. And I'll always be thankful for
Oh
that
yeah, I'm very
movement
thankful for it.
and opening up eyes and things like that. It's become a little culty, but
I
but
think
it
that
still
there's
did
different
great things.
levels of Q.
There
There's
are.
and that's okay. That's your thing. I still do conspiracy theories. I just don't have the time to put it out there anymore. I don't like. I'm like falling behind on politics because honestly, the more I'm deeper into this, the more busier I'm getting on the phone, on
You
email.
ain't missing much.
You ain't
And I
missing
can fill you in about 2.2 seconds. Joe Biden was supposed to walk on a red carpet today. Walked off the
He's
red
still
carpet.
alive?
Yeah, he walked off the red carpet today. It's like, come on, what are we
Didn't
doing?
he fall getting off the plane again? I just saw a
One of
video.
his
Did he really?
staffers did. We can't confirm or deny
Oh.
if it was him or not, but there's the crux. Oh, he went to Poland and said that they need to build more nuclear plants while taking away ours because it's a hazard to the climate change, but it's okay for Poland to do it. Yeah, typical Democrat stuff. We get it.
Same
Anyway,
bullshit, different day.
That sums up politics right there. You're all caught up now.
Okay, good.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And then you got
Honestly-
TikTok news that you can get caught up on too. Kip.
I used to post so much on politics, but another thing too is that if I'm going to keep going with, as far as representing Change on Chains, they're bipartisan. They don't want politics. And listen, I'm willing to give up the content of politics to support them.
Absolutely. It's so much more important, and politics aren't a part of it. Like me and you would have that conversation with that Fox report that covered the gay couple that had adopted the
Right.
kids, and then
Right.
all the really horrible things happen. And I'm like, why did you have to focus on the part that they were gay?
Right.
Why are you using buzzwords like
They
this?
always
Like,
do that.
But I think like we've come to this part in this overall fight that I think just people need to realize like everybody's gonna have a lane. And if you just focus on that lane and become good in that lane, it'll help create more change. So while you're not covering politics, there's other people that are, but you're doing different type of God's work that is just as important, if not more important, because that's our future,
Right.
than what political content creators like myself do.
mhm.
Yeah. I mean, and there's people who are covering different parts of the, protect the children movement too. Like, Hippie does, is now taking over the bullying. Pickle
Mhm.
does the board of ed stuff. There's so many different people, and that's great because
Right.
you know what? At least we could all focus on that one topic.
Right. Then you become an expert, and then you can help
Right.
people that do get interested in it and help them and their path and whatnot, instead of everybody just trying to do everything, which we
Right.
can't do. Like you
And
spread yourself thin.
yeah, and that's exactly what was going on. It was like, okay, I need to focus, and this was the one I was the most passionate about, and this was the one I really started getting connections with off of the app. And there's so much that actually happens off of the app that people don't realize. TikTok is not the end all. Like, I don't live on TikTok. I use TikTok as a tool to give other people the information that they need if they want to get involved or what's actually going on.
Mhm.
And we were talking about Q, and it's not that I stepped away from Q, but I couldn't. A couple of years ago, I just felt like I was at a standstill. It was all right. How much more satanic cult crap can I shove down somebody's throat before they're
Mhm.
like, "You're out of your freaking mind"? And I took a step back and I said, "I need to take it back to what's going on in your backyards, and maybe then I could wake up more people because it just was at a standstill." And I'm like, I don't. Who the hell is? Give me 1 second. My son's ringing the bell. Oh, forgot he was coming home from. Hold on 1 second.
But I think like I Save the Children isn't a political party. I do
No.
believe that both parties or all the parties, all of them, we want to save the children. Like at
Mhm.
the end of the day, like I don't
Absolutely.
believe that Democrats are that evil that they're like I'm talking about your mainstream like typical Democrat kind of person.
Mhm.
I don't I think that they're absolutely for Save the Children too. So like this is really should be a bipartisan issue in general that should help. Quite honestly, if I'm being 100% honest, like I just can't stomach it.
Well, and
I
that's
wouldn't be able to
like, I have
stomach
to
it.
take moments with it, like, everyone is sending me a lot, like, there's a lot popping off on TikTok with it right now with an account that was found, and it's, like, a French couple and their daughter, and it's really inappropriate between the father and the daughter. Um, there's another TikTok creator that opened up a Patreon to children, like, there's a lot of it going on, and I'll jump on it for a while, but I always end up having to stop completely. Um, I'm somebody who struggles with PTSD from my past, and it gets really difficult for me to continue to do it. And that's why people like Mama are so important because she just pushes through it and she keeps going. And she's like, nope, we're going to keep talking about it because the
Right.
reaction that it gives, you and me and other people, it's supposed to give you that reaction. I'm glad when people are like, it makes me sick.
It
Good.
does. Yeah.
Good. Now let's do something. Like children should be the one thing that everybody in the world should be able to be like, okay, we're all on board. Whatever we got to do, we're all on board.
Yeah, like I'll be the behind the scenes kind of guy. I can't
Mhm.
do the front scenes just because like when it deals with kids and stuff, like I'll murder somebody.
Yeah.
So it's best if I
We don't
don't.
want that.
X is a really good support system though for those
Yeah,
that
I
might
will
be.
absolutely support in any way I can, push content financially if I can, whatever means necessary, I'll absolutely help with. But I can't be on the front lines, and I know that, and that's fine. And this is where like staying in your lane kind of deal
Mhm.
happens. And I'll help push to a Patriot Mama and Kat when she does her thing. I can't do it.
No. I
Yeah,
mean
it's
nobody no one blames anybody for not being able to.
No,
no.
I got all the
Um,
respect in the world
it,
for.
it changes your life forever.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely.
doing this and knowing a lot of this stuff, and yeah, it changes you. Just when I thought I couldn't change more, Vegas changed me even more for the better,
Yeah.
because now it's like I have this fuel in me. Just like, what else can I do? I want to do more. It's just a constant. Oh, I love you too, Butters. I'm not a hero. I'm not a hero. I'm just a short, red-headed girl from Brooklyn that is very stubborn.
Well, I bet you that a few of those people that you spoke to
Right. I was gonna say.
disagree. Like, how you always like hype Hippie up and you're like, look what you did. You changed that girl's life. When you guys do these things for people, you're a miracle. You are a true, real miracle to those people when you do those things. And the fact that you stay as humble as what you do about it is a good thing because it means that you're doing it for the right reasons. You're not flashy about what you're out there doing. You have never come off to me as braggy or as
Me neither.
everyone look at me and I'm the queen of whatever. It naturally happened for you. You naturally kind of took that title in our algorithm because you've earned it. You've earned the respect of people by not getting involved in drama, by not picking sides between stupid things. You stay mutual.
We'll
You
never.
remind me a lot of Ship with that. That you stay very, very focused, and that's it. And it's admirable, and people see you, and you've earned that. So while it's good to be humble, you've earned that, and you were a miracle to those people. Hippie was a miracle to those children when she showed up. All of you guys are, and it's beautiful.
Amazing. Let me tell you, to be there to witness, like on the sidelines, her shining and see that fire that I know in
Mhm.
her eyes. It was amazing to witness, and I know she's going to do amazing things.
See,
She's
and
going to
you
do
are
amazing things.
that's hero right there. I know
Right.
you won't put that title on you, but we will.
And
And
we feel the same way about you. I just wanted to put it in perspective for you
Aw,
because I know how proud of Hippie you are right now.
I
But
am
like,
very, very. I
that's
love
how I
hearing
felt
that.
all weekend when I knew that you were in Vegas and I was checking my phone and like you were updating me on what was going on. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like
And
I was
Vicky
worried
was
sick.
updating me with her situation. I'm like, girl, just send me updates. I'm literally out in the streets, and when I get
And
to
that's
New
the
York,
crazy thing is that while you're doing all of this, I mean, because you were a hero to me that Friday night, I mean, I didn't really talk about it a lot, but like I had a trigger that weekend with my PTSD and I went to a very bad place. I was not conscious of what was going on with anybody. And you took time out to talk to me. You were already so tired from being out all day. Like you do those things for people. So accept the title. Like you've earned it. A lot of people see you that way. They do. They do. And you do.
you're really trying to make me cry right now.
I'm not. I'm not.
speaking facts.
I'm just being honest. Like, and then on top of that, you were like, came home from rescuing kids, and you're like, I'm getting in the car and I'm going to a protest at a school. And it's like, what?
Listen, I said, give me the address. Give me the address.
Are you gonna take a
I
nap?
said, listen, you're an hour away. No problem. I said, I could get my kids on the bus. I could go brush my hair, throw on some lipstick, and I'll be there. And I did. I went. I wasn't gonna, if I could be somewhere to support somebody, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. If I am within driving range and it's I can get it done. Listen, I've jumped on planes before, so if I could do it, I'm gonna do it. I will always be somebody else's cheerleader. Always. Especially if it's something that I fully support, or I if I can do it, I'm gonna do it. Mama needs a damn nap.
And then on top of that, we've been talking. We haven't done any videos for it quite yet.
Yes.
But as always, I like to step in and try to be petty with a purpose. So we had talked about doing an auction. Where and actually during this show, I'll just announce that now for the cup text.
Do you want me to actually talk first why it's so important? One, because of
Yes,
the merch.
let's
Okay,
explain
so
why we're doing this. But
all
I
right.
just want everybody to know that like there is a contest during this live that goes until tomorrow night at 7 p.m. And I'll explain what that is afterwards, and then there'll be a thing going forward.
So for those that were not on the shipwreck show, with all the crap that had been happening, it started going into the merch shop. And the slander in the merch shop, that I was scamming and everything. So what had happened was we were at a point where, and I showed the chart. We were at a point where it was doing so well. We were donating 1,000 and 100% profit goes. I don't keep a dime. Actually, I donate extra on top of the profit. We were donating $1,000 a month. I think we got through like 4 months. We were at like, I think 4,100. We also did a live fundraiser where we raised 1,200. But and then it started getting slandered, and every time I put it up, it was either getting reported for branding and just being trashed, and the sales started going down. So I told the organizers I had to take a step back from promoting it because I didn't want it to go completely dead. So orders were coming in, but if I donated $120 in 2 months, they were really they were very, not that they were dependent on it, but it was becoming something they were used to.
They could almost start to rely on it a little bit
Right.
because they've been so
And
consistent.
it went to surveillance equipment. It went to new clothes for the newborn and the mom that was being homed at the time at the first home. They got tiny home number 2 built. They are at full capacity right now. They have a waiting list. They have tiny home number 3 that they broke ground, but they are in such, and they can build tiny home number 4 as well. They just had to turn away a survivor because tiny home's not built yet because they don't have the funds. And listen, I'm not the only one that donates to them, but I couldn't get them the money that they needed because of
Hmm.
trashing that was going on, which was just horrible. And that's why I wasn't going to be silent anymore, because it's not about me. Now it's affecting the survivors in the organization. And that's where I had to say something, because I'm
You
done.
have to.
I'm done.
Mhm.
I'm finished with this bull crap. I'm done. Because you can trash me all you want, but when you start affecting people, good people that are doing such amazing things and survivors,
Yeah.
I got a huge problem with it. And I'm not
Well,
gonna
we
be
all
silent.
do. I mean, I feel like we all got a problem with that. And
Yeah.
like that's why for tonight, if any of you guys after the show, within the next 24 hours from now, so until 8:30 tomorrow night, if you guys will head over to a Patriot Mama's website. The link is in her bio over on the Tiki Talkie. Order something from the merch store, send me a screenshot that you ordered something, and we're going to put you into a raffle for a Freedom Fam cup. And you know what? A Petty with a Purpose t-shirt. So it'll
Ooh.
come together and that'll be a raffle item. And you have 24 hours to do it. Send the screenshots over to my Instagram. I'm going to make a video too. I'll just take this section of the live and put it in a video. And then we're talking about doing a fundraiser as well. It's not going to get your monthly, the way that we want it, but it still brings attention back to your merch store that it does exist, what it's doing, and it resets the purpose of what you're trying to do with it. And hopefully that, we can help you out with that and other people can help you out with that, because the money goes to something so incredibly important that is needed that no money goes to. It just doesn't. I mean, and federally, like we can get into the conspiracy theory on why I don't think federally a lot of people put a ton of money into these things, because most of them have their hands in human trafficking and they make a ton of money off of it.
Mm-hmm.
They have to. We are the number one consumer is America. So if that tells you anything.
It is. And it's not, we touched on that last night. It's not, taken. It's not, jumping out of helicopters. It's literally in your backyard. Your child could be coming home every single night. When you have the founder of the organization who's been doing this for, this many years as an he just retired as a Navy chief and has been doing this, when his own child was being trafficked onto his own roof while he's been doing this, it could happen to anybody and you wouldn't even know it. And your child could be coming home every single night. And that's why I'm trying to align myself with the proper people to get the education to everybody, to look at the signs, to get involved with your children, to make sure that you're letting your kids know how amazing they are and loved at home, so that somebody on the outside is not luring them out
And just the things
and
that they've
making them think that they're going to
infiltrated,
love them more.
the things that they've infiltrated,
It's horrendous. It's
my kids
horrendous.
love Roblox. They love Roblox. I don't blame them. There's like a cajillion games on there for them to play at all times. But I'm always the mom that well, my friends, because they're not allowed to do.
Oh no, I
the
see how strict
chats.
you are on our FaceTimes. I do.
I was gonna say, a lot of people know, my son has taken my headset from me and logged on with one of my friends before from TikTok, and she's messaging me on the side, and we caught him pretty quick. But it's they're
just
going
the other
in.
day you had that guy.
Yeah. So I had to make some children cry. One of them was a lot older. I don't know how old, but their voice was dropped, you know what I mean? And then a couple
Voice changers.
squeaky
Voice changers.
kids. Right. But it was them yelling at my son and saying like, where do you live? Well, where do you live? Like, you done effed up now, mother effer. I'm coming to get you. And what? Like, what are we doing now? It was probably just some jerks on the internet talking, but it's like I've also seen the requests that come into their Roblox accounts where it's people telling them like, hey, if you want to come play this game with me, I'll give you Roblox. Like, let's chat and I'll give you Roblox. So they're luring these kids into these games.
Yep.
And they give them Roblox. Yes, has a lot of spectrum kiddos. Like Elise is completely infatuated with it. I mean, we've gotten her onto some different games now where she's not quite as hyper focused. Are you okay? You okay? Okay.
Yeah, anything online. Snapchat is one of the worst as well. You know, one of the episodes, I think this is the third or fourth time I've had the founder on my podcast. But he's given such amazing tips about all of this. He's like, listen, if you keep your kids off social media completely, by all means do it. But obviously, if you're going to, at least make sure that it's protected. And one of the top parental control apps that he recommends is Bark. Any parental control app is good.
Oh yeah.
He does recommend Bark is his number one pick. And I did make a video, and I think it's on, I don't know, I've had so many damn freaking accounts. I think the video is up where I actually put up the top 5 that he had recommended, Bark being the number one. You know, what is online it's skyrocketed, especially during lockdown. It was like a playground for these predators. They were preying because, and I've said it before, you know, we were all stuck in the house, you know, parents who worked from home, you know, your kids are home. You threw the iPads at your kids. You threw the phones at your kids. Like, go, because you have to work. And you know, it was a playground.
Oh my God, their schools were all done online, and we had to get ours shut down 2-3 times because people were infiltrating the Zooms for their schooling.
Yes.
There was one in the district that we lived in. They got into the Zoom and were posting nude photos into my son's 2nd grade Zoom room.
My daughter was targeted. I had my county child cybercrime detectives at my house. Thank God she didn't see anything. Nothing really happened.
No, my son didn't either because he had learned that he could minimize the school screen and pull up YouTube in the background and watch YouTube while he was supposed to be in school. He learned that way too quick for how little he was. So I'm sitting there thinking that he's paying attention like really good in school, and he's watching skateboarding videos on YouTube, which, I mean, honestly, thank God he was, because he was in the class that it happened, and I had sat him down and asked him about it, and he's like, no, nothing happened weird. So he didn't see it because he was essentially playing virtual hooky.
It's probably one of the only times you're like, thank God.
That's Cat's kid.
Yeah, he's too smart for his kid. But that's what scares me.
Oh, yes, in the comments, he's like, good kid.
But that's what scares me, though, you know, is that like, and they want to play online with their friends, and I don't blame them. I don't. It is fun.
That's the world we're living in now.
But he always looks so embarrassed because I'm like, make me listen to. I want to hear the kid's voice. I want to make sure that little sons of bitch balls didn't drop yet. If you're going to be talking to my kid, and then I want you to go find a parent. Like, go find a parent so that I know that parent knows that you are also, you know, dating. And it's still a struggle because, you know, I'll notice, you know, why do you have 4 people in the party chat? I only know 3 of those people. Who's this? Oh, well, this is so-and-so's friend. No. But I'm also, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing as a parent by doing this, but
I will tell you this.
I'm a little bit like more detailed with my children because I feel like a lot of kids don't know what kidnapping means.
Okay.
They hear the word.
So, what I do, and listen, I'm not the know-all. However, I'm trying to learn as I grow from the right people. Also having the cybercrime unit for my county at my house and speaking to them. We live in a world, unless we're going to put our kids in a freaking bubble with nothing. these things are gonna happen. However, it's all about how you educate your children. I have instilled fear in my kids. I am very
Mhm.
blunt. I am very honest. I speak to them, especially with what I do. They are very proud about what I do. They were excited for me to go to Vegas. They told me go rescue the, go help them rescue. Obviously, I wasn't rescuing any kids. Listen, they're very well may have
You
been
were a
enhanced.
part of a
I was
team
part of a team
that
that
rescued
right.
children that without you and your part that you played, they would not have been
And my
able
team,
to.
right.
So collectively,
Everybody
yes,
plays a
you
part.
did rescue children.
Because you're a hero.
No,
And we love you and you're
I
wonderful
don't
and
like that word.
special.
But that's what you are.
Okay.
No one can
I have
ever
a
say though that this chick's got an ego
OEF
on
knows
her.
I have a hard
Ever.
time with compliments, a very hard time. He knows I like start
We're gonna get you
sweating.
used to
I get
it.
hives. I'm like, no. Hey Ames.
Hey.
But the cybercrime detectives were sitting at my table and they're like, listen, the best thing you could do is educate your children. They need to know because if you are keeping them sheltered from the world that is really here, they're going to become victims of it. You
Yeah.
Right.
have to put fear in them. You have to, unfortunately, because that's how bad it is. And if they're not scared and if you're not honest with them, they're going to just, they're naive. My daughter is the first naive kid out there. Like she will like, oh, look, they wanted to trade this thing. Oh no, they ran away with it. It was like some $60 like, item in Roblox or something. And
Yep.
I monitor that. But um
Roblox scares me.
I know
Pelosi
it
has too
does.
much money in it for me to be comfortable with it.
Anyway, but I do the VR headset when we had posted. I was going in as a child and I was hunting the predators. When I found out with chat rooms that these people were reporting them, I was going in as a child and I was hunting them. I have fun with it too, let's say. There's a lot of stuff that I do, our team does, IP Conflict does that people don't know about. We don't speak about it. I
Mhm.
know that the Jeffrey Marsh stuff, the Italian couple, there's a bunch of stuff going on right now. We, as our team, likes to stay in the shadows. We don't like to announce in Neon Lights that we're coming. So we work as a whole off the app. So I know a lot of people think like, oh, she's ignoring me, and I try to reiterate it on my podcasts or on lives. Just because I don't comment on it doesn't mean I didn't see it or we're not dealing with it.
Right.
There is so much that goes on off of the app that nobody knows about. And we're not beating our chest like, hey, we got this arrest taken care of, or you don't see that stuff because we're moving. We don't want to sit there and get, like applause for it or anything. We want to move on to the next.
Right.
Like, okay, done, let's go.
Right.
And it's become like, oh, well, you didn't report about it. Yeah, and so what? Doesn't mean it didn't happen. Why do I have to prove anything to anybody? The work's getting done. Let's move on to the next. Or would you like to sit here and debate whether how this arrest happened or, it's but
I feel you.
it's
I do.
this validation thing, just because we didn't post it, it's not real.
Right.
Just
Right.
because you didn't address it, it must be true. No,
Well,
like
then the irony of the whole thing is we
phone.
all,
get off your asses and go walk around in the real world for a freaking hot minute.
well, and then it's like on the flip side of things, if you did post about it, you're just doing it for
And
clout.
I'm boasting about it. You like whatever.
I mean, that's the thing. Like,
Listen, I know the work's getting done. Our
right.
team
That's all that
is
matters.
busting their asses in all levels of this. I don't have to prove anything to like
No.
it's getting done. All I'm going to say is it's getting done.
Well, it's
And-
getting done, and we also I feel like this is a good time. It's a good time to segue.
Okay.
There-
Dark to
There
light.
are
I know you're all in
also-
the comments. I am going to re-talk about what was announced on our podcast last night because I feel that it should be said for all of the people that would like to get involved, there is a
Mhm.
major opportunity. Kind of like put, you know, you want to get involved, you have a chance to.
How can they get involved?
Okay. So what is happening, and I've had discussions with the wife, Tiffany, of the organization. We FaceTime a lot. She started filling me in while I was in Vegas. Um, we spoke. Yeah, I am.
Go for it, mama.
So basically, what happened was Call to Rescue. Brad Dennis, who's the and that's based out of Pensacola. They are the head of what the big search that goes nationwide. They are based out of Pensacola. They take this, and every state that they go, they partner up with local anti-human trafficking, local NGOs, local law enforcement. They take over X amount of cases and they do this, and they bring in volunteers. So this
Mhm.
the big search goes. There's going to be one in Pensacola next month, which I'm going to go to. It's going to be Chicago, Detroit. So basically,
Oh,
what I
Detroit.
yes, and Chicago and Orlando, and there's a whole
Should we
bunch.
get the gang back together again, Tex?
Well, maybe I will go to the Detroit one.
You should. Yeah.
I'm going to
You
go to
better.
Pensacola. I'm going to go to the Chicago. I'm going to go to the Orlando, which is at the end of the summer.
When
Right.
is the one in Detroit?
I didn't hear Detroit.
Well, and Detroit. I will get the dates. Once I have the dates, the first one that's coming up is Pensacola, which I believe is a month away. So I'm gonna let me get that one out of the way. The Detroit one. Listen,
Hey,
yeah,
maybe we can go to
you guys want to
Chicago
get
too.
involved, and we could
I
all
was,
go.
I was I was just thinking that. Like, you know,
What?
Chicago is not that far away.
What?
Now, okay, so the way that how are you explaining it to me? Because there is a little bit, obviously, you can't just show up and go start looking for kids. There's a
Okay,
process.
so
So
for the big search, when they announce it on Call to Rescue, there's a website. You volunteer, you sign up. So every state is different depending on who they're joining forces with in that state. But Call to Rescue is the head of the big search. But what I can announce, it's not official, however, since it was leaked on my podcast last night, I can speak a little bit about it.
who is it
So,
leaked by?
Troy.
Oh, I thought you were gonna be like me.
No. Well, I kind of hinted at him because I heard from the wife. I just wasn't sure about the details, and I
Right.
mentioned it, and he's like, "Okay." He's like, "It's not official, but let's talk about it." So basically, what's happening is that Call to Rescue actually is joining teams with Change Unchained, True International, Anonymity Rescue, Say Something Assembly, and there's a couple of other organizations. They are forming one big group, and it's going to be called the Shepherds. This is their logo. I have all the merch already. I got it. I have the sweatshirt. I have
Oh,
the
I
t-shirt.
like that.
So it's the Shepherds.
That's very cool.
And basically what it is that they will be based out of Pensacola. Their quote also is, this is the t-shirt. The quiet professionals, the deed is all, not the glory. Luke 15:4.
I love that.
So this is and I have all the merch. I even have the Rescue Task Force hoodie.
She's like, I'm
but-
ready to go.
So they will be based out of Pensacola, Florida. And basically, what's going to happen is the big goal of the whole thing is that they are going to be launching a training facility in Pensacola, basically to replicate what they did in Vegas. So me and my team, Dark to Light, can go fly to Pensacola to meet up with the Shepherds at their training facility. And we could get qualified, certified, trained, the whole nine. And then we take it back to our state and replicate what was just done in Vegas ourselves. So basically, you go back to your state, you do the whole big search on your own. You create your own task force, you create everything. You got to go through the training, you got to go through everything. The ultimate goal is to replicate the big search for whoever is willing to get off their ass and do something about what is happening.
I'll get off my ass for you in Detroit, Mom.
Huh?
I said, I'll get off my ass for you in Detroit. You let me know.
So-
Seriously, I'm all about it.
I'm
I'll
all
reach out
about
to
it.
some people. Me and Tox will reach out.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
one that you could even feel comfortable doing, Tox, because you're not getting into like the details of it and you're actually helping bring people back. I think that you would like that.
I can be a water boy.
Tox will bring us coffee.
Yeah,
Listen, you know
absolutely.
what? I appreciate them because they are so transparent. You know, I've gone through so many different organizations and everything, and it's when you are fighting this hard in this movement, there's so many different levels of it. But you know, when you get such transparency, when you have founders that are willing to sit there on Zoom calls with you or FaceTimes with you or answer your text, answer your questions, get you involved, bring you into the team house where you're actually watching surveillance, you know, intel as they do everything, watching them strap up in bulletproof vests to go out and do a rescue. You know, it's they're appreciative of the people that are supporting them. They're appreciative of the people that are spreading the message and helping them do the job that they need to do. They're willing to share the knowledge of everything and replicate, you know, so that we could bring it to our own states. You know,
Yeah.
they're not looking to take credit for this stuff. They want to replicate it and they want it to spread in all 50 states.
Oh, yeah.
If there are people willing to get off their butts and do it.
Now, by get off my butt, you mean that like all I have to do is make a TikTok, right?
Well, you don't
Are
wanna
you
follow-
gonna need me to like leave? Are you gonna need me to leave the house?
Well, I mean, if you have people with you, I know that, you know, I can't imagine seeing you running down the street chasing down somebody with a
Then-
child.
Can she sit on her
I
stroller?
might
still?
surprise you.
Okay.
I might surprise you.
Is she allowed to sit on her
But-
stroller still?
What happened?
Is
It's
she allowed
not
to sit on her
a stroller. Will you stop calling it my stroller?
I
a
have
walker.
rhinestones. I could bling it out for you. We could make
You
it.
sit on it.
very
It's a damn
decorative.
stroller.
Look, I bling
Now,
out my
I
own
do-
pasta
do-
therapy.
Do y'all plan
you-
on doing anything at the border ever, or is
what?
it just kind of? Do y'all plan on doing anything at the border?
They have not mentioned anything like that.
Nothing
I
yet?
think that's a little bit more involved than they are. This
Mhm.
is more of, you know,
See,
this is
Exactly.
more of, you know, kids going missing and, you know, possibly getting, and a lot of them do get caught up in trafficking. I know for a fact that they do a lot of their cases. That's the problem, is that a lot of these kids that are runaways and stuff, they do get
We're
caught up
saved.
in. Who?
Yeah.
Who's she?
That chick that's always like hanging out.
she's
with
the one that
somebody.
announced that Russia committed crimes against humanity.
Yeah,
When
For
did
some
she?
reason.
I don't watch the news anymore.
yeah, she did that a couple days ago. You know, just
Hey.
that
Lord,
that good old pre-war
Got it, Mikey.
pre-war context.
I can't.
But I feel like because this is almost, you know, trying to prevent that step from even happening with these kids who are missing and getting to them before somebody else does.
Yeah.
And like all the steps matter, whether it's preventing it from happening or being down there at the border and ripping them out of cars or being online and pretending to be, you know, an underage person and baiting these guys and getting them. I mean, it's so intricate and there's so many different levels to it. And it's so difficult now with the internet.
You know, there's so many
It's a
levels
beautiful place, but
of this. There's a lot of levels of this. Yes, you know, there are countries that are selling babies that are newborns to people. You know, I think
Mhm.
that there, you know, there's baby farming, there's organ harvesting, there's so many levels to all of this. However, I'm at the point, you know, with this organization where they are traveling across the country to all different states to actually take over cases of missing children, whether they've been caught up in the trafficking world or, you know, every case is different.
Mhm.
They take some severe cases. They have cases where, like, you know, the homeless boy that was on the street, that I saw, you know, he's homeless. He may have been running away from a situation at home that, you know, was really bad and he feels safer on the street. However, he still stands the chance of getting swept up by a trafficker. You know, there's
Now that see, I like this question because
Mhm.
there are a lot of,
Okay.
like, what if, I mean, as somebody who struggles with chronic illnesses and
Right.
things like that. So for people who may not be able to get up there, get on the street, start handing out things,
Or
what
even
are some,
financially, not just
like,
physically, but financially too.
what are some
Yeah, I
other
mean,
things that
financially,
they could
obviously,
do?
donating directly to the organization is always my top thing.
Hmm.
But listen, a lot of people can't financially, and that's totally understandable. But if you think that your voice or your posts are not important, or that you have a small page, or don't ever look at it like that, because you
Hmm.
never know
True.
who it's going to reach. I've
Well,
had some of the
you
smallest
don't, and you, oh my gosh, and you don't know, like, you don't know if a video is going to catch on or not. Some
no.
videos can
No,
catch on.
you don't.
I posted some, I mean, it wasn't dumb, but it was just a news clip of Keely. Her chicken thing got done by Candace Owen. She was freaking out. I took a piece of it, printed it. I shared what she was doing. I wasn't in the video. I wasn't nothing. That thing hit 2 million, I do believe. I don't get views like
You
that.
never know when
So
you
you
post
don't
something.
know. And
You don't know.
sharing things is so, it is important. And what I have discovered is that the repost button actually does better for people than duetting it, stitching it, anything
I'm
like that.
still learning TikTok.
It's just that simple repost. And the way that I found out about it is there's a creator on the app that me and her we don't get along at all. But her brother is in desperate need of a living donor for his kidney. And a
Oh, I
lot of
think
us
I
shared the
saw
video.
something about that quickly today.
Yep. I shared it on my page. We've all been sharing it because it's important. I don't care that me and Bree don't get along. It's got nothing to do with me and Bree. This is her brother. This is somebody who, is very sick and needs a transplant. If you guys haven't seen the videos yet,
No,
please
I
go to my
haven't.
page and
I saw a
hit
snippet.
repost.
I'll repost. I'll
But
repost.
she had made an update that because of all the videos that people were making, like his caseworker is flooded with phone calls of people who want to be a living donor.
Oh my god.
Like, people are watching your content regardless of what you think, and just that repost, just that simple repost. If you can't do it, you just help
Send
those
it
people
to me
find the
so that I
information
can
to do it.
repost.
Well, the right person might see it.
That's
Yeah,
the thing.
you go
know-
to do like the same button as like duet. It's the same button, but it says repost. It's like a yellow icon, and all it does is it just makes it to where like it hits the For You page better when you're hitting repost.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, send me that. I'll repost as well. Social media can be, and I will say it over and over and over again. You could either use social media as the most amazing tool. It could be used as the most horrible weapon as well. Choose wisely. Um,
Hmm.
in whatever. But social media, you could be home on your couch, can't walk, whatever it is.
Hmm.
Social media could be amazing if you build it the right way. If you get your message out there, you can build on that. You don't have to be out there walking for hours to the point that the cameraman's battery died. um
Be a
you can be
cheerleader.
doing it from your couch. You don't have to be doing what I'm doing. And I don't expect everybody to do what I do. My cat is literally playing behind
We
me.
just don't expect the people who are not doing to try to harm it, or the people,
Well, that's
anybody to
the
try
thing
to harm
too.
it.
Hate me all you want, but don't harm the movement. Don't harm what I'm doing. Don't shit on what I'm doing. Don't shit on the movement.
Facts.
Don't shit on the organization. Don't shit on the survivors. That's just not right to me.
Facts.
Agree to disagree all you want. Personal shit off me. I don't. Whatever. It doesn't make sense to me.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't make sense to me. Why
It's
hurt
never
the
made
people that
sense
are
to me.
actually out there doing something? Why hurt them?
Right.
I think unfortunately though too, like we live in the era of like scams, like there's too many people that are also out there that are trying to get money and donations and everything else, and then it winds up being a scam. So I know there's a lot of people that are also like hesitant, you know what I
Right.
mean? And that's why anytime that I've
That's
ever,
why I
when me and
chose-
you were talking about the fundraiser, we were like, well, how do we do it? And I'm like, they donate direct to the place and they send us screenshots.
Yep.
That's the only way that I'll do
Yeah,
it. This
and
thing with
that's
tonight's
the
raffle,
way I
send
love
me
it.
you don't touch the money.
Right.
And then people can't, if they need to see it, it's very easy to show from beginning to end. This is how it happened. These are the donations that came in. I didn't touch any of it. So it's trying to like earn back people's trust with that too, because there are people out there that are just kind of trying to do whatever. And then that sucks because that hurts the movement, that hurts anybody who's trying to do good. It's like a retweet.
Yeah,
That's
and like
what
you
it
had
is.
mentioned that, and that I was all for that because that's another thing. I wanted to do a fundraiser, but I saw what's happened in the past with fundraising, and I'm like, I don't want to bring that crap to this organization because they are so good
Yeah.
at what they do, and and the crap coming at me, I didn't want to stain it even more.
Well, and
Um,
here's the thing too that a lot of people don't realize whenever you're raising money like this, if somebody donates to you, and granted, not everybody's looking for this, but like there's tax benefits donating directly to the organization for
yes,
that person. And it's the same reason, like, call me whatever you want, but I usually don't donate at a store to an organization because then I'm donating to the store who then reaps the tax benefit for donating to the organization.
I didn't even know about that
Yeah.
until the Ronald McDonald House stuff. When
Yeah.
I found out how much the McDonald's that I gave it to took first
Yeah.
before it went to there. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's
And
why I've
so,
always
like,
done them that way. And
with this,
listen, so they're still going to talk shit about it. At the end of the day, someone is always going to have to be the asshole, the party pooper, the whatever. But this is something that is important. You can participate in it or not participate in it. This will not be a petty live auction.
No,
We have some
I
people.
didn't want to bring
Thanks,
shit
Amber.
to this, and
Nope,
that's why I haven't
there's
done that fundraiser.
no, there's zero drama going on. Actually, I need to talk to you, Mama, because I've talked to quite a few. I got some stuff donated that I'm pretty excited about. I'll be donating. Tex will be donating an
I'm
item.
gonna be donating, just so everybody knows, my bullet necklace.
The bullet necklace.
What? That's how important you know it is.
Not my armor of God, scripture,
Oh,
sword, or my.
Amberlyn, shoot me that screenshot over to Instagram and we'll put
Oh,
your name in the
Amber.
raffle. And thank you
You know-
so much.
And I want to explain why I did the merch shop because yes, you can donate directly to Change on Change, which
Mhm.
I always say do.
Well, and
that.
that's what we'll be
If
doing
you
for the
wanna do-
fundraiser.
If you right, and if I've always pushed, but because what was happening was, and I get it, they were a new organization. A lot of people didn't know who they were. So you get leery, especially this day and age with your money. You want to know where your money's going.
Right.
I trusted them, but I get it when people are like, who are they? So what I wanted to do was find a different way and find a sarcastic way and create this very sarcastic pedo hunter. I mean, I'm not even done with the designs. Wait till you see what's coming out. And I haven't done new designs. I haven't dropped new ones because I haven't been promoting the shop because it was getting trashed. But I wanted to find a way where I can give. So where it was that, God, this freaking cat. Get out.
Usually
that
Tex has got a
people
zoo
were
walking
actually
behind him. too.
getting an item, a conversation piece where there's if anybody hasn't seen some of the quotes. This is actually one of them. I made some basics for the men too, where it was just the flag and it said "end child trafficking," and it comes in all different styles. There's kid styles, there's onesies, there's cups. But I wanted to create something where my favorite animal to hunt, pedophiles. Something sarcastic. So they were getting an item about what they believed in. Sarcastic against pedophiles, and 100% of the profits go to them. I'm not keeping a dime. Like I don't want anything. I've never done, live gifts, and any live gifts that I used to get I think count one, I was banned from Creative Funds for life. All my Creative Funds with proof. I was screen recording everything. When I first started getting Creative Funds, I was donating it to, at the time,
Mhm.
Our Rescue, who I don't, not that I
I was
don't.
going to say that's
support
where all
them.
mine went to when I was still donating to.
Oh, listen, I
Underground.
have all their merch, but I'm not a big fan of them. I'm not trashing them. However,
Right.
they don't fit what I want
Sure.
Mhm.
That's
in an
okay.
organization.
And that's okay.
and that's just my, I'm not trashing them.
No.
Change on Chains fits what I want. Not only do they do search and rescue, they do the aftercare, and that's something that is so needed in this country because we're in a situation where we don't have enough harsher sentencing. We have slap on the wrist on pedophiles that
Mhm.
they're coming out and they're reoffending, and then we also don't have enough aftercare or the proper treatment for these the victims that are being rescued. And if they're not given the proper aftercare, what happens? We have a constant recycle of the predators being released from jail and a constant recycle of these victims not getting the proper aftercare to going back to what they came from. So it's just never ending.
Right.
And they don't offer, at least in my experience, my personal experience, like the aftercare portion is nothing. It's during,
No.
it's during the allegation, it's during the investigation or court proceedings or whatever, and then it's gone afterwards. And I had saw that in your video where that was a really important part, and my heart just was like, thank
Mm.
you, because that aftercare, like the damage that does to somebody. I mean, they steal you. And yes, you get back parts of you, but you are forever changed by that. You are forever broken by that to a certain extent. This needs long-term care, very long-term care. And as far as reoffending pedophiles, there's really only one solution for what kind of pedophiles don't
Just
reoffend.
if I could fight for that legislation, which is something that we also have under our belt that we are fighting for, we
Yeah.
have been aligning with the proper people. They may not be in office right now, but I have one that moved from Illinois to Arkansas. She actually texted me the other day, actually asking for advice on something. She ran for Congress. She did get Colton's law passed due to her horrible story. We have another politician that didn't win this last election, but he is continuing his fight with the child. He got unanimous harsher sentencing against trafficking for trafficking passed in Illinois.
Mhm.
And he's a Republican, but he is continuing his fight with child trafficking. He's on our side. We have so many people that are joining our army, let's say, that are willing to fight with us for this. So listen, the more the merrier. I plan on eventually taking this all the way to the White House at some point. I'm ruthless.
I can so see you like stomping up the steps in your combat boots with like her vape, like just done.
Let me in, you
Like
pedo.
we need to talk. We need to talk,
We need to talk.
like regardless
bring
of
you
who the
some baked
president is
ziti.
either.
I'll bring you baked ziti. I'll bring you some chicken parmesan. But let's talk.
Yeah, I do before, because we typically ask the guests to send us out with a positive note. Before you do that, I just want to thank you and everyone who
Yes.
participated in the in the rescue and all of that, but most importantly, the sauce wars. It changed my life. I was having a very bad day that day in bed, and you guys
I know
had
you
me
were.
rolling. I thought I couldn't with you guys. You guys are that. Did you? Oh no, you're not on TikTok. Never mind. Sorry,
Listen,
Todd.
every once in a while you got to let loose and have some.
They got in this
I
huge.
posted my chicken marsala today. I said, all right, I'm posting food TikToks now. All right,
Oh,
I'm
hell
done.
yeah.
Because like all
posted-
these like badass Italian chicks, like they're cooking sauce all day. Like they've been cooking
Listen,
Sunday
you want to
sauce
make fresh
all day.
mozzarella from scratch? I'll teach you.
So then Pickle got in on it. Poor Pribs. Pribs had ragu in her fridge, and she was shamed across the entire internet.
It's not gravy. Who said it's gravy? I saw some. No, it's not gravy. Oh God, I'm
jelly.
blocking every second. I'm making a list.
It's great.
Chelsea, make a list of everybody said that it's gravy. It's not gravy. It's effing sauce.
Make a
I'm
list.
blocking every single one of you that said it's gravy. You're done. You're done.
It was really funny, Tux. We've had some funny days, honestly. Like
Nice.
it's been pretty funny over there recently between the sauce wars, and we're doing the lip sync. There's a new lip sync battle that's going on, so that's super fun. And then you've been cameoing in the TikTok news, so it's been silly. And I've been digging it. I'm gonna stick.
Oh, I don't
I'm
want to know.
sticking with
I don't
satire.
want to know. I don't want to know.
You really don't.
I don't want to know.
It's on
It's
my
all-
page.
It's all
I see
fun.
I see
It is. It's fun. It's nothing. I don't think it's anything mean.
You know how I
Okay.
listen. How many times do I call you up? I'm like, Kat, really? How many times do I yell at you?
She really does. She's like, everybody's always mad at me for being friends with you.
Listen, I lost a friend over you. I
I
lost a friend
know.
over you.
Damn.
I
But that
did. I
wasn't
lost
a
very
real
good
friend,
friends over her.
though.
Because listen, I'll just say it quickly. I'm the type of person. I don't care who you are. You come to me and you ask me to post drama about somebody. I'm not going to do it. I don't care if I don't like you or I like you. I'm not going to do it.
Hmm.
I'm not going to. It's just not me. Don't weaponize me. Do not weaponize me for anything. That's it. I don't care. And if
I mean,
people can't understand my friendship with her, I'm sorry. It's not for you to understand.
It's
Right.
true.
and
It's not
just
for you to understand. My
just
friendship
because,
with her is my friendship with her.
Right.
It has nothing to do with anybody else. I don't have to explain anything, and that's it. That's the end of it.
That's a
and it
fact.
has
Nobody's
nothing to do
entitled
with
to know why.
content, and it has nothing to do with TikTok.
No,
It is not like I am FaceTiming her and being like, hey, watch me destroy this. But like, no,
not even
no.
close.
A lot of times it's me laying down to take a nap and then me getting a text message with Cat, ... Like,
I check in to see how you're feeling. How many times have I taken rides with you to the hospital?
I was gonna say, like, you've been my hospital buddy a couple
I've
of
been,
times.
yeah, a couple of times, and nobody, listen, we may be airing it right now, but you know what? Don't come to me to weaponize me to attack anybody, even if I don't like them.
See, and that's my thing
Just-
too,
it's
because
not
I
my
feel
thing.
like I got in. Now I understand that me and Tex both get involved in the nonsense, right? And I don't know if Tex will agree with me on this one, maybe, maybe not. But for a period of time, it really felt like because we did that content, because we didn't care, we got weaponized a lot with other people that would kind of come in, and it's like, oh, we're friends and we're getting along and da 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 da. And then it winds up being like, now I'm doing this in defense. So I've actually really pulled back on doing anything like that in regards to my friends, because
I'm gonna get you to a point where you're not doing any drama contacts. That's my mission.
girl,
Oh no, I'm gonna. I'm
Why?
on a mission. I'm on a mission.
boring.
I'm
Can I
not
still do the TikTok
but
news? It's
I'm on
satire.
her. Wait, no, her.
The
I'm on a
TikTok news is satire. It's not mean. Even Pribs did it.
No,
with
you
me.
could do
Damn
satire.
funny.
But how many
funny.
times have I called you and said, "Cat"?
I don't know. I have to be satire about it and stop being so aggressive. I understand, okay?
Half the
Sheesh.
time I don't even know what the hell is going on because my head's up my ass with everything else. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? Why are you getting hate again? Oh, good God, girl.
I don't know. I got a hard time keeping my mouth shut. I'm working on it. It's a daily struggle. It's a daily struggle. All right, girly girl. We always ask our guests to send us out with something positive, motivational, inspirational, funny, silly, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
So the floor is yours.
I want everybody to, especially that we were sitting here talking about like some drama stuff and everything. As somebody that actually looked a child in the eye, a homeless child that needed help. I want you to think before you weaponize an app, weaponize social media, and think for a freaking minute of a child in front of you that is begging you for help. And think, are you going to sit here and say, you know what? I can't give you the 60-second video that you deserve because I need to go attack another person. It takes one 60-second video to spread some awareness. Take a minute before you choose what you do on this app. You can either use it as an amazing tool or as a horrible weapon. And I always advise everybody choose wisely because you have no idea what life you might save, what life you might help in one 60-second video.
All right, I'll stop. Gee.
Lies.
I love that though, because you're right. You are.
Do you know how painful it was to look that child in the eye and I couldn't do anything for him? I wanted to take him home with me.
I was gonna say
I don't
'cause
know where
there's
he is.
rules
And
around
think-
this, right?
I
Like,
think about him where'd he go?
oh, I don't know. Something may have
Um,
popped off.
okay.
We can keep chatting. Go ahead.
You know,
Nobody's here for text anyways. Oh, he's back.
oh, he's back. Oh no, he's back. He's not. He's back.
Huh. Oh.
Yeah, you know what? I looked the child in the eyes. I don't know where he's at right now. I don't know if he was actually one of the missing. I could, in my heart, I think he is, but he's at an age where, you know, he's become 18 years old since he went since the child on the card went missing. This child is 18. There's nothing I could do. Did I want to take him in my arms and take him home? He's making a 66. Yeah, I
He's
did.
like,
but
all
there
right,
was
okay.
nothing I could do. You know, as somebody that's been out there and looked a child literally, that all he had on his back was his clothes and a Christmas blanket, and he just moved from location to location.
Yeah, that one kind of broke me when you
I
when I
haven't
watched
stopped
the
thinking about
longer
him.
news segment of it. And I didn't realize like how many rules like there are to saving somebody, because sometimes like they don't want to be saved,
Right.
and you can't force somebody to do what you know is the best. And for me, I feel like that would and is, because like I'm definitely on board. I definitely want to participate in the Michigan event. I am committing to you pending that nothing, you know, catastrophic and whatever happens. Like that to me would be the hardest part of this, is knowing that like you want to do more and you can't. You can't. Ugh.
Everybody is able to participate no matter what level it is. Don't ever think that you need to be at the level that I'm at just because I fought my ass off to get where I'm at. You don't have to be at this level. I
Mm-mm.
started somewhere. It depends on how far you want to go.
It's true.
I'm a go-getter, so I'm gonna keep going. Yeah, she was there. She was there. She saw it all.
You could see it in your face though in your interview when they were
It broke
discussing like how
my
much you
heart.
can do. You could see it in your face.
I can't stop thinking about him.
But you did amazing things, and we can't wait to have you on again, because we got
Yes.
lots of work
So
to do.
much.
We want to help you with this, and we'll announce the auction, which I'm really excited about. I'm trying to get a couple more people on board for that one. I want to make this a good one.
Yeah, I let Troy
I
know.
do.
He's very excited. Obviously he will pop in, you know, to talk to show it's legit. He knows about it. And I love the fact that it's going directly, because I don't like to touch money as best I can. I'm obviously the merch shop, but I show receipts. But
Yep.
you know, I love the fact that you said that. Exactly.
Yeah, they'll all
Exactly.
go directly to him. I will also let our haters know. Last time I did respond to to whatever you guys were trying to do with an auction. I'm going to make sure that anybody that participates in this auction, do not engage, do not share, do not comment, ignore anything when it comes to this one. Because this is for an organization
This is the line
that
in the stands for me. This is
we
about
want
children.
absolutely zero drama attached to any
none.
of this. If I see any of you guys doing it, I'm going to immediately block you guys as well. I don't think any of y'all will.
Yeah,
And
I'm
we'll
gonna
just
bring
have
all the drama.
Mama's going to show up in there and be like, I got some things to say. But
Yeah,
I
have
think
nothing else.
it'll be a fun one. It'll be
Yeah.
good. I'm working on like a musical guest. Like I want to do it a little bit different.
Please
to where
don't
it's
tell me
like-
trap. Please don't.
Stop it.
Please no.
It's not trapped. Although we could pay for a cameo
No.
from him promoting the auction. Ooh, I might need to do that. Anyways, we will be
I'll block you.
posting more on the auction. Guys, don't forget that for the next 24 hours, if you go and you make a purchase from Mama's Merch Shop, we're going to enter you into a drawing where you will win a Freedom Fam cup and a Petty with a Purpose t-shirt from my unreleased merch line. And I hope you guys have a good night. Tex, do you want to say
Yep.
anything?
Thank you to a Patreon Mama. Definitely appreciate you and everything that you're doing and the work that you're doing. It's not easy. I know that. And Takes a special soul to do what you're doing. It does. So appreciate you coming on. Look forward to meeting you in Detroit.
Yes.
'Cause I'll be coming too. And with that, y'all have a good evening, and we will see y'all Thursday.
Yep.